We're finally getting around to remodeling Odelia's room. It's not really a remodel, more of a makeover. We've got the room painted and we're gonna start out by putting these wall decals on here. These were provided by Rocky Mountain Decal Company and we're really excited to try them out.
They're repositionable and removable, so they won't permanently damage your walls. Make sure you wait 30 days from when you painted it to putting it up, because it could take the paint off with it.
All right, so the instructions are pretty simple and straightforward. Each panel has a little sticker that's marked top with a number 1 on it. So that's the first start of your pattern, and we're gonna run our pattern this way along the wall.
You want to start on the left side.
Does it say that?
Yep, it says start on the left side, and you're going to remove 10 to 12 inches of the backing, and you start in the middle and work your way from side to side.
Okay.
So it's like really good wall vinyl if you've ever put it up. Just think of it on a really large scale.
All right, so we're gonna, it says to get a friend to help you. This is my friend.
Hi, I'm your friend.
Okay.
It says if there's any wrinkles, don't worry, because it's really heavy duty and they'll come out. Like wrinkles when you receive it.
Okay.
It also says if you're short, get a step stool, but he can reach the ceiling in the basement.
I'm hoping my wall is mostly straight, is what I'm really hoping for.
Oh, fat chance of that. So nothing's straight in this house.
Okay. All right.
All right, so he's starting in the middle. Once he gets it down, he's gonna go in the middle and then work his way out. And then here's the squeegee. I think when I'm done, I'm gonna use this on paint to scrape it and do some fun decorative finishes.
So it did get some air bubbles, and it says to go slow and work those out. I got a little wrinkle right here, but that's my fault. All right, so got that on there. I'm just gonna keep working my way down here.
This is gonna be so pretty.
So now that I've got it tacked to the ceiling, I'm really just going about 3 or 4 inches at a time and using this little scraper to get the air out from underneath as I go. So what I'm doing to keep this straight as I go is I've got a little curve on this wall, so it makes it look like it's not coming down straight. So I'm just making sure to hold this bottom piece flat as I peel, and that's keeping it straight along this edge, as straight as it can be. We're coming up on the bottom here, right here on the floorboards. I'm just gonna make sure this is laying real nice and tight along that. And then I've just got a straight edge or razor knife. I'm gonna cut right along the bottom here.
1 down, 6 more to go. So we started with this in the room because this is gonna set the tone for the entire room renovation. This wallpaper is gonna be a huge focal point and we're gonna be able to pull from it in the rest of the design. Here's a little teaser. We also have bedding from Betty's, which Odelia is super excited about. I think Odelia is gonna love this room. It's gonna take her from little girl into teenager, which she's turning 13 in a few weeks.
We are on to panel number 2. So the nice thing is this is just cut perfectly flush, so I don't have that lip on this edge like I had on the other one. All right, so can you hold that down?
They do that so that way you can line it up. Do you want me to hold what?
So hold this paper down.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
You need a step stool?
I may need a step stool.
You think you're so tall.
I am so tall.
I can get one out of the bathroom. You okay for a second?
Because if I miss, this will be wrong all the way down. All right, we're gonna step stool it. What I did on this one, when I'm trying to line up this leaf and the flower and the stem and everything, was I actually peeled this corner off a little bit farther and lined that up to the top, and then I peeled this back and spread that over. And that was a lot easier than trying to get it straight up here and then another like 8 inches, 9 inches down, it was too wide. And so now I'm hoping, since I lined it up on this edge, that it'll just continue, and I'm not gonna worry about it not being straight, because the wall has some dips and curves and whoops, and it's not ever gonna be perfect on the wall. So I'm gonna make sure it's perfect with the other piece that I have on here. The pattern on here is so great because I have a slight little line all along, and you can barely detect it even if you get just right up to it. I'm on panel number 3, and I have an outlet right here. You can see it bulging up underneath. It's probably a good idea to turn your breaker off, just because I'm gonna just poke a hole right here in the vinyl. You don't want to have an accident with electrical. So I'm just being real careful right here to poke out where these outlets will be, and then I'll put the faceplate right over the top of this. Okay, before I put the faceplate back on, I'm just gonna smooth this out. Right here at the top of my vinyl, I'm starting to get a gap that's pulling away from the ceiling, and it's getting wider and wider and wider as I go. It didn't start out very much of a gap at all. I'm straight along this wall, so there's not really a whole lot I could have done about that. What's happened is the ceiling or the floor, one of the two, or this other wall on the side, is not perfectly square. So the way I'll fix that is I'll just get some molding and run that along the top. Probably not crown, just regular molding. I'll just run it along the edge there, because I'm sure it's gonna get worse as we go. So I'm on the last panel, and I've got about 6 inches right here to fill up, 5-6 inches all the way down. And my panel is about 23.5 inches. So what I'm gonna do, it says to cut them while the backer is still on. So I'm gonna hang this panel up there just with some painter's tape, and then I'm gonna cut down this corner here and see how that goes. I'm making this up as I go, so watch out. All right, I'm gonna cut this. Hopefully this isn't a horrible fail. Probably would be easier to measure, but my wall hasn't been really straight thus far, so I'm gonna try to just put it up there and cut it. We've got this gap here, and in retrospect, if I had maybe just pulled it up a little higher and then cut it afterwards, because I had some excess on the bottom that I didn't really need, it would have all just been flush. But since it was my first time doing it and I didn't know that my wall was going to be that crooked, we're going to be putting some trim up. That'll cover that all up. This is just regular baseboard trim. We're not going fancy with crown or anything. And we're gonna hang that, and then it's painted to match the walls, and it'll look great. All right, Odelia, hold that up in the corner. Jamie, I'm gonna need you to hold. Oh,
I can't hold
Mom
it.
needs a stool.
I'm too short.
Can you hold that up in the corner tight there, sis? Mm-hmm. All right.
I guess I'm rendered useless because I'm too short.
Okay.
Wait.
I tell you to stand on the bed, but all right, you got that over in the corner?
Mm-hmm.
All right, poke it up all the way to the ceiling. All right, you can let go. The room is all painted. We didn't show you much of that. I actually had Odelia do most of it, and I just got the high stuff because you can see she's a shorty. She's on her tiptoes right now.
Hey, she's like
All right,
the same height.
Get down off the tiptoes. Let's see.
She's almost as tall as me.
But she did really good. She only needed help with at the top foot, and I painted the ceiling, and she cut the whole room and did most of it. So she's a pro painter now. There's a couple little drips.
Pro painter.
A couple little drips, but you know, it'll be all right.
I'm looking for them. I'm not seeing them.
No, they're up high.
Oh, well,
Maybe they're me. They're on me.
Yeah, if they're up high, they're you. All right, special shout out and thank you to Rocky Mountain Wall Decals. We'll drop the link to their page below if you're interested in buying removable vinyl wallpaper. It's amazing, especially if you're a renter, because you can pull it off easy. Even if you're not, if you've ever tried to remove wallpaper, it's a big pain in the bum. This is much easier to install and remove when you decide to change it. And they make oversized wall decals, not just wallpaper. They're really awesome. Be sure to also follow them on Instagram and Facebook for some major inspiration for room decor.
Well, and these would be cool just in panels too. Like if you framed out a panel of this just on the wall, like in sections, it would be really neat as well.
Make sure you guys hit that notifications button because we're gonna have lots more videos on Odelia's room renovation. We'll be finishing it up next week and doing the grand reveal of the teenage bedroom. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.